Hi, I'm George Monkhouse. In this second video, we're going to be talking about the three primary medicines: breathing, food, and liquid. It's very useful to have some breathing techniques which can help you to energize, can help you if you want to release old traumas, it can work as a general tonic, or can work to heal you in some way or another. What I teach people generally as a very useful breathing tonic is to breathe deeply. We spoke last week about the lower dantian, this physical power center. When you're breathing smoothly and deeply, then you can start to regulate the whole organism. The mind starts to calm down, the emotions level out, and you improve circulation. You get all the organs pumping and squeezing from the movement of the diaphragm, the muscle that pulls air into your lungs. Next up, we have liquid, ideally water. We have many different additives to water these days, the liquids that we put into our body. We have caffeine in the form of tea and coffee, even green tea, which is a stimulant, raise your own energy, fantastic, but it's not proper nourishment. Sometimes we want our liquid to be hot to try and give us some warmth. Again, that's fantastic, but it's not giving us energy. We can have sugary drinks, alcoholic drinks, drinks with all different ways to flavor them, to have a different effect on the body. Ultimately, what our body really wants is pure, clean water. Useful to think about how tap water is treated by chemicals. It doesn't go through a natural filtration process. It's absolutely fantastic to have free running water in our homes. It really evolved civilization. However, there's a lot of problems when you compare natural water to tap water and even to mineral water, for bottled water. There's a huge amount of benefit in sourcing natural water straight from the earth if you can. So if you can, go and find a natural spring, find a spring.com and go and collect water yourself, stored in either a clay pot or in glass. We've also got to consider temperature. It's very common to have ice in your drinks. Traditionally in Chinese dietetics, if you want to put ice in your drinks, once it comes into the stomach, your body's going to have to warm it up to body temperature. So ideally you want to have liquids at room temperature or slightly warmer. Very nice in the morning, as soon as you wake up, to drink a good pint of water. You've just been sleeping, stagnating, dehydrating, and to come and bring a fresh influx of good water into your system in the morning helps to wake everything up and get everything moving much more smoothly. One symptom that can arise from chronic overuse of caffeine, alcohol, sugary drinks or hot drinks is that you are using these short-term stimulants to give you energy without putting in the long-term fuel or without taking adequate rest. Once you get a lot of good quality water, got a lot of good quality breathing, and as we'll come on to a minute, a lot of good quality food into your system, your body's intuition seeks out quality much more. When you have good hydration levels, the whole system can function much more optimally and you feel brighter and cleaner and fresher. It's a good way to go. Next up, food. The fantastic perspective from Chinese dietetics that will help you whatever your dietary belief, whatever your dietary practice is. We obviously want to have natural food as much as possible, organic. So on one end of the spectrum of density of food, you have whey foods in Chinese, and whey foods means the most dense. They most easily nourish the physical body, nourish your blood, nourish your whole physical organism, but they are densely packed, and as such they demand a lot from your digestive system. So everything starts to slow down. If you eat a lot of wheat, a lot of cheese and a lot of meat all in one go, you're going to get tired. You're going to have to rest while the digestive system kicks in. Nowadays, what they didn't have in ancient times is processed food as well, which is very densely packed, but without the copious amounts of nutrition that we come to expect from meat and fish and dairy products, soya products, things like that. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the most light foods, the least dense foods, the Qi foods, they're called. Some of the most Qi foods, the most light foods are fresh herbs, so coriander, for example. If you eat a kilo of coriander, you're not going to get fat. It will have an effect on you, but not so much on the physical body. It won't really help you bulk up. Foods more on the light Qi end of the spectrum, they are going to have a much higher water content, and they're going to naturally be much more cleansing for the system. The more whey foods, the more dense foods are going to really help you bulk up and strengthen, but you need to be careful of having too much. If you start to have too many whey foods, you start to slow down the digestive system. Over a period of time, that's going to set into chronic disease of affluence, as generally referred to now. Cancer, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, four of the biggest killers in the world today. So clearly we have far too much whey food in our diet, far too much dense food in our diet, not only too much meat, but with processed food, the quality that is coming into the body is just not a sufficient standard. So when you understand this principle based on density of food, you can set up a dietary regimen based on the principles of cleaning and strengthening as a way to optimize homeostasis, to optimize the benefit you get from what you put in. One of the biggest dietary studies ever in history is called the China study, and it looked at lots of individual studies, pulled them all together and set up a theory based on the results. The results basically were, as we discussed, you eat a lot of heavy dense food, you're going to get a lot of diseases of too much. If you don't have enough dense foods, diseases of poverty they're referred to, then you're much more likely to suffer problems of malnutrition, of infection. So to strike a balance between the two, having plenty of fruit and vegetables, plenty of grains if your digestive system can handle them, meat here and there, is going to provide all the tools necessary for a vibrant system that's not overloaded, and is going to give you the energy day by day so you don't have to tap into your long-term reserves. So we need to apply some rationality to how we eat summer opposed to how we eat in the winter. In the winter, obviously, we don't want so many cold things coming into the stomach in the way of ice cream, raw food. We want to make things more easily digestible, so soups and stews, stir fries. The digestive process in the cooking has already helped to break things down, make it easier for us. In the summer, we want more cooling foods, more watery foods, more cleansing foods. So lots of fruit and vegetables, lots of salad, lots of raw food. I'd like you also to consider the concept that if you need vitamins, if you need supplements of any form, that there is a deficiency in your diet. If you look at Zulu tribes, any tribe, any natural culture where they're very strong physically, they might be able to run for many miles. These guys have never had protein powders, they've never had any of this. So you can always look to supplement your already excellent diet with supplements and dietary additives, but really to make sure that you are getting all your essential nutrients from your food. There's an ancient Chinese proverb to have breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and supper like a pauper. Generally in the West, our biggest meal of the day is supper. It's probably about 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it's very heavy. We go to sleep with a big full belly. We have to part sleep, part digest. In China, there's the idea that the stomach is strongest between 7 and 9 a.m. and weakest at 7 and 9 p.m. So you want to eat the healthiest and the largest meal at breakfast to give you energy to last all the way through the day, slowly dying off. Then at lunch, nice mix of complex carbohydrates, maybe some meat to give you more energy for half a day. And then in the evening, ideally about 5 or 6 o'clock, you have a much lighter meal which is going to give you energy just for a few hours. So that by the time you go to bed, your digestive system has had a chance to rest, you can sleep fully, you fast for about 12 hours every day, and you can wake up strong and clean.